Hey everyone, I'm just going to flip my camera around, get it all happening and get it into its little stand. So excuse me while that happens. And there we go. Now I'm trying out my new stand again for real this time. So I've got my phone happening and I've got you on my iPad as well, so I can make sure that I'm in the right spot. And hopefully all will be well. Now, actually I just got to turn the volume down on my iPad so I don't hear myself a bit later, because there is a bit of a delay happening. Now I am making a magic card, and this is what the girls in my hostess club will actually be making, and they have all the supplies go out to them each month. So these are the instructions that they'll be getting as well. So the magic card's pretty cool. When it's in, it looks like there's nothing behind it, and then when you slide it out, there's all your colour there, so it's pretty cool. So I've got all my cardstock here prepared, and I'll just run through what we'll be using for it. So the colours are rich razzleberry, and so you'll need a long piece. This is just an A4 cut long ways, a piece of another square of rich razzleberry, a piece of DSP. My colour is actually different because I was running out of DSP, so I've got a different pattern today. A little piece of window sheet, just a little strip of background paper. I've got a happy punched out from the Big Shot, and I've already pre-stamped my flowers to go behind because that was a little bit time consuming. So let us move on and I'll show you what I've done. So this is my, the girls in my club just got a piece of white cardstock obviously, but so I've just stamped my flowers and my leaves in my colours that I'm using. So I've got rich razzleberry and sweet sugar plum. So stamp your sweet sugar plum down first and then your rich razzleberry over the top for the flowers. And then for the leaves, I've stamped mint macaron first and then Island Indigo on second. So they're the four colours we'll be using, and you'll also need a StazOn ink. And the other thing that you'll need, which is really important, is a two-step stamp. So I am using the penned and painted stamp set, and you can use anything as long as it's got like a bold coloured image and then an outline image to go over the top. Okay, so that's how these guys come. So what we need to do first is to obviously stamp your background piece, and then over the top we need to stamp our outlines. So you need to line them up so that it's pretty well exactly on, and don't move it, okay? And this does get a little bit tricky, but it's definitely well worth the look afterwards, isn't it? So I'm just going to ink up my StazOn, and StazOn's fine for your photopolymer stamps. Just make sure that you clean them with the regular stamping mist. Don't use the stamping, the StazOn cleaner. Okay, so you want to hold that on fairly straight, and I'll try not to get my head in the way. Now, when you stamp with StazOn, it has a tendency to want to slide around on the window sheet, so you just need to go fairly like down and then straight back up again, and try not to not to, you know, squish your stamp around like that. Okay, and I've just kept, or I didn't change the orientation of my flowers because I thought it would be a bit easier to line up this second bit. Oops. I think some of them you just have to guess. Oh, that one was a little bit slippery, and you'll find that it wants to stick as well. So okay, clean them straight away. So I'm not going to set it aside like I normally do. I'm just going to get that off straight away. So this is our stamping mist if you haven't, stamping cleaner, and you also get the Stampin' Mist. So if you haven't got them, they're a really good investment. Oh, we've got some people joining. Sorry guys, I can't see you on my, I can't see you. I've got it set up on my iPad, but I can't see the comments coming in. I'll have to try and see if I can work a different way to see them. Just bear with me for 2 seconds while I attend that. I might be able to see it this way. Okay, so, and I have to stand up to see you sitting on a park bench watching. Well, that's pretty cool. So, because my camera stand is just that little bit higher out of my vision, and I can't quite see. I can't quite see what's going on my screen. Okay, so now I'm just going to go on with the leaves. And I'm trying, normally I would, you know, you'd be leaning right over your stamping work, and I can't really do that as well. And I find with the first couple of inkings, it's quite faint. And then as you ink up your stamps a lot more, they seem to have a lot more black in them. So just try and make sure, even if you like ink it up and stamp off a couple of times just to get your stamps conditioned. Ooh. Okay, last one. Slipping and sliding. All right, so there we go. We've got our window sheet stamped up. Just cleaning my stamps again. Hi, Rita. I'll have to keep this. I need a, you know what I need? I need a cushion. I think that's what I need. That's what I should do. I should get a cushion under my backside so I can see up a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to set that aside to dry a little bit. I don't know how long, but I don't want to go sticking my finger on it and squishing it around. I can see it a little bit glistening still. So now we've got our under bit, and we've got our over piece as well. So I'm just going to find somewhere to pop them while we work on the construction of the card. So the ladies who have got all their pieces in their kit, I actually scored the first line for you, and I need to remember to use my scoring bit and not my cutting blade. So if you see the dark one come up, yell out. Okay, so the first one we want to do is just pop a score line anywhere, and I think for the girls at home, in my hostess club, I think I scored it at 9. So we score there, and then the width of my card, and I'm just going to double check because I played around with it a bit. Whoops, inches. All right, so my card's 10.5 centimeters square. So I want to come to the 10.5 mark here, and I just want to make sure it's all lined up straight. Nothing worse than a crooked card. Okay, and then we want to score again there. Oh, my name is a tricky name. It's amazing how many and people pronounce it wrong too. It's like Elisa, like it's just Lisa with an A in the front. I had a friend who was also called Lisa in one of the schools that I went to, and we were A Lisa and B Lisa. Okay, so next what we want to do is we want to pop another score mark ever so slightly on the outside area. So what I'm doing is just lining this up with the edge of my guide here, just so that I can get a little bit of distance. So you can just see, I hope you can see, there's one score mark and then there's another score mark. So that one's a little bit trickier to get and then fold. So we just need that little bit of depth in there for our workings out. Okay, and then we want to do the same for the other side. So on the outside, not the inside of the score mark. Okay. So there's our second one. Just pop that out of the way. And then I actually need to remember how to make my card. Who else have we got here? Joanne! Oh, what are we making? We're making a magic card. Ooh. So this is for the girls in my hostess club. They get all the materials sent to them. Okay, so now that I've got all of that, I need to, and my folds aren't quite straight, so I'm just going to make sure that they are a little bit straighter. So what we need to do now is to place, hang on a minute, get my things right. We're going to glue this on the front. We need to do our cutting before we do our gluing. So we're going to adhere this to the front, and you want to make sure that when you adhere it that your adhesive actually goes to the edge of your designer paper or whatever card you're using, if you're using something different. Okay, and I'm just going to stick that in the middle panel. Oops. I don't like it when it doesn't sit right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we need to bring our trimmer back in and we're going to cut our panel out. Okay, so what I want to do is now I want to use my cutter and not my trimmer, not my scorer. So what I'm going to do, and I think I did it upside down, I think it was actually easier for me, but then I don't think you can see that. So no, you would not have been able to see that. Okay, so what we want to do is, I think I did 1.5 centimeters. Yes, so 1.5, that would be 9. So I need to bring that at the 9 centimeter mark, and it is going to be easier for me to do it upside down because I can't see. 9 centimeters. I can't remember what I did now. So don't you love it when you have and I can't remember what I did when you're live? Alright, okay, we're just going to guess, you know. Okay, so I'm coming in 1.5 centimeters here, I think. 1.5, and I'm going to come down, cutting through both those layers down to the 9. Okay, so that's cut through both layers of card. I'm just going to swing it around because this will probably be easy for me to do. So 9, scoot straight up, and then 1.5. Hang on a minute. 9, there we go. That could have been a bit awkward, couldn't it? Okay, so 1.5 again, and then down to the 9 mark again. So that's cut through both, and then this one will be easier. We can just, I can just cut from that mark there to that mark there, and swing it around and do the same thing. Hi Linda, sorry I can't, I have trouble, I can't see my iPhone screen. It's up a little bit too high for me. So there we've cut out our panel. So that's, whew, that worked. So we're going to save that piece of designer series paper because we're actually going to use that again. So keep that and just pop it aside. Okay, now we're going to come back and we need to pop our insert in. So our square of card that we had put aside earlier should be the same size. It's a 10.5 by 10.5. Now you're going to need to use some dimensionals, but we only want to use the edges of the dimensionals. So we just want these little bits here. So I'm just going to snip a whole row of them. Okay, and this piece here sort of needs to sit up to give it that little bit of space. But you don't want to put any along the top row here. Hi Chris! You don't want to put any along the top row here because you won't be able to get your card in and out. So, and you want to pop these as close to the edge as possible. Okay, and along this side as well. and then one on the bottom. Okay, then you can peel them off. And we will stick that directly over the top. Okay, so that forms like your magic, your fake background. You know, the smoke and mirrors that you find when they do their magic tricks. Okay, and then we need to pop some more on, but we want to just pop them in the places that we didn't put them. Whoops. So that you've not got too much bulk. You want that fairly flat. So I'll pop this in the alternating areas, and then I'll pop 2 on the bottom. Okay, and we can then, I'll take that one off first, we can then take them off and just close that up, and then take that one off, and I'll put some adhesive along there, and then we can close that up, and then we have our panel all ready to go. So I guess you can sort of figure out where we're going with this. So now we need to come back to our stamped images and our window sheet, and we need to adhere these together. Okay, so this is where this is going to come in handy, because I'm actually going to cut a small piece that I can use for that. And I think I did, by my rulers, I think I did 4 centimeters by 4. So 4 by 4, and then just score it at 2. She might score it on the other side. Whoops. Nothing, don't want it crooked. Okay, so I've got my little scored piece there. I'll put that away now. And what I'm going to do is just adhere these together, but I'm going to do it in the way of I love fast fuse, but when it doesn't want to roll properly, it can be a bit of a pest. Okay, so I'm sticking them together and making sure they're all lining up, and then I'm just going to pop these on over the top, but I'm just going to leave a little bit hanging up. So hopefully that's in the middle, and then pop that on there. And then what I did with my original one, but I won't do it because I've actually forgotten to get it out, is just tied a little bit of string around it, a little bit of white baker's twine. Okay, so then here's where it all comes together, and how it works is you slip one side, you slip the coloured panel behind that little faux sheet that we've got in there, and you slip the window sheet in front of it, so one goes behind, one goes in front, and then it just pops in like that. And then all I did to decorate it was just to pop a little bit of just a strip of card, and I put the happy across there with a bit of birthday, but I won't do that either. You can get the idea of that. So that is how I didn't stamp properly. So that's how it works. So when you slide it out, you've got the colour, the magic going on. Now also, I was going to tell you something now, I can't remember what I was going to tell you. That'd be right. Oh, that's right. My white piece of card, I had it cut at 10.5 as well, but I actually forgot about the dimensionals. So this piece of white and the window sheet is actually 9 centimeters squared, so that it fits in there. So that's how it looks. I think it's pretty cool. And so here's the final piece again. So you can see, and I've just popped a little bit of Wink of Stella on there as well. I don't know whether that's picking up or not, but popped a bit of Wink of Stella on there, and you can write your message on the back if you want. And so there's your tricky magic card. So, and the girls in my Hostess Club, so what they get is all the materials to make these. If they don't have the same stamp set that I've used, they can use any two-step stamp that they have. And the two other projects that they'll be creating is this card here, just a nice shimmery quick card, and a little matching gift tag as well. So they're all set for their birthdays and their projects. So that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in and watching me. Hi Tanya. Hi Fiona. I'm Irene. I need to get a pillow on my seat so I can see my camera a little bit more and see where all the comments are coming from, because they're not showing up on my iPad for some reason. I'm not sure how to get that happening, but oh, now they're happening. Oh, that'd be right. Just as I'm about to finish, now all my comments show up on my I'll have to play with that, because I'm watching. Whoa, this will be trippy. I'm watching you guys on my I'm watching you guys so I can see what I'm doing. Sort of, there's a little bit of a delay. That's weird. Well, Chris, I was actually thinking about doing this tomorrow for Lincoln Land, so I've got all my window sheets. That's what I was waiting for, but we might play with something a little bit different. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching, and I hope you have a play. So don't forget, you can pretty well do this with any stamp set, just as long as it's a two-step, so you've got an outline over the top. Or even if you had like an image that you could colour in, you could stamp the outline on your window sheet and then stamp it on your white card and colour it in, and that would do the same thing, wouldn't it? So any stamp would do. Okay, I'm going to go. I've got my cup of tea beside me, which has probably gone cold by now, and I'm going to go and edit this video for my Hostess Club girls. Okay, see you later.